Welcome back, everyone, to the castle that never sleeps. Welcome back to Castlevania Belmont's Revenge. And it's actually time for revenge, because we're going to assault Dracula directly. And yes, Dracula's in this game. He shouldn't be, but...
It's Castlevania. You can't be
Konami continuity. Well, the way that Castlevania continuity goes is, like, he's supposed to only come back every 100 years. But we've already pointed out the plot here. He didn't want to do that, so he took over Christopher's son and was able to come back and bring back his devilish castle with him. Oh, look, it's another evil Bobbin Threadbare. It's the Nazgul. And no, I'm not going to scream like that. I will admit, some of the better tracks in this game are in Castlevania, just because of the rapid tempo of the situation. And I love the statues and the vases that are all around. It really brings back thoughts of Castlevania 1, 2, and 3, roughly.
Yeah.
Because it brings back thoughts of their Castlevanias. Because this is Game Boy Color. I mean, you had to utilize what you had, and even though the Game Boy Color had a good color palette, I don't even think it was the NES's palette, was it?
I think it is the NES palette.
Okay, because I could have sworn there were actually less colors in the GBC. But then again, the Super Nintendo literally took that from like hundreds to thousands, so what do I know? And this is also where my herd curse status is probably going to go down a little bit, because a lot of these areas took multiple tries just because I do something stupid like fall on a spike or something like that. So Andrea, go ahead and harp on me now, because you're going to do it.
I'll have to wait to see what kind of weird...
Well, you just saw a stupid mistake. I don't know what happens. Like, I try to record these things flawlessly, and it never occurs.
Well, who would play a game flawlessly like that?
Speedrunners. That's kind of part of their whole thing. You have to speed... In order to speedrun, you have to do it flawlessly.
And they must have some kind of type of cheats in order to...
No, they play the game day in, day out, and learn the patterns.
Some do tool assisted, but for the most part, they play it straight.
Yep. I mean, it's like, if you haven't seen the documentary King of Kong, I mean, it literally is an obsession. It becomes the only game you ever play. You know, like, in the documentary, we actually saw Steve and Weeby playing, what was it, Donkey Kong 64? But even he admitted he played the Donkey Kong minigame in it just to get better at Donkey Kong. Oh, look, it's a giant vampire bat that can turn into two. But we don't want that happening now, do we? Shut up, chair. We know you like Call of Duty more than anything else. Speaking of which, Alex, aren't we excited that Call of Duty Black Ops 3 is happening?
Yay.
It's a good thing Activision doesn't have a conference. Otherwise, we'd probably have a good chunk of time devoted to that. Although, I have a feeling we're going to have a good chunk of EA time put towards Battlefield. What did we decide? It was Cowboys and Indians edition this time?
Yes.
Alright. Or maybe it'll actually just be Battlefield 5. But that would be thinking outside the box! At least for EA standards. I'm sorry, I keep forgetting. We're not supposed to harp on EA, because apparently if they die, then the US economy dies with it. Yeah, I keep on bringing up that comment. That's how silly it is. Our entire US economy will collapse if EA dies. This is actually one of those few times where I would say go Japan.
And I wonder why.
Because EA is not the greatest of companies, and EA has killed companies that I loved! And Alex is loved.
Yes.
Because Pandemic died because of them.
Maxis pretty much died because of them.
And Maxis. But that was because they literally had them doing nothing but Sims games, and then eventually when they were allowed to do a SimCity, it was broken. Which I'm sure at some point we will find out that EA corporate had something to do with that.
Of course they did.
Because you have to incorporate the cloud gaming! Or something to that extent. I don't know. I thought about playing the new SimCity, and after the whole fiasco, I thought better of it. Yes, I'm actually a SimCity fan, believe it or not. I just won't touch the current stuff. And these days, I'm more of a Sid Meier fan anyway, so...
You like playing SimCity?
I used to, yeah. Mainly because I like bringing out Godzilla to destroy my city, but, you know. What's wrong with that?
That's the only thing you liked about it?
No. I just enjoyed doing that occasionally. It's like, my city's doing really, really well. Hurricane! Hey, at least I'm not like some of the people who are horrible with The Sims, man. I mean, some of the videos, have you actually seen some of those, Alex?
Yeah.
They're downright torture. They literally, like, make it this horrible maze to get to a bathroom. So that the Sim, they are literally trying to get their Sim to pee their pants. Oh, and here we go. We have some creative boss design now, because we have this wall dragon. So the interesting part about this boss is that you have to keep moving. Yes, you cannot stop.
Oh joy, auto-scrolling levels. Everybody loves those, right?
But the problem is that occasionally the dragon will actually get in your way. And you have to wait until he falls through, and then you can move over.
And you just ran into him.
That's what happens occasionally.
Sometimes you probably gotta just to survive.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those concepts of, see, people like to say I'm not a hardcore gamer, but I understand the concept of acceptable damage. And sometimes you have to deal with exceptional damage. Or, I don't even know what I'm saying anymore.
Acceptable damage.
Yep. So, yay, we're done with the first boss! Thankfully, Castlevania doesn't go that long. Yay, another life! I'm good at this game! And now we are on to the second task, which actually looks really close to the end. That's because it is. And this really is the track that I love from Belmont's Revenge. It's great. It's messing around with tempo, which makes me think of all the current day Castlevania games. And that I was never gonna do whatever again. Which is really sad too, because I'm playing the Lords of Shadow trilogy. I'm finishing that out. So now I have to think about that endlessly. It's like, this is the end of Castlevania. This is usually where Alex steps in and goes, "Step out of it, man!"
Yeah, step out of it, man.
Ow! I didn't tell you to actually slap me, dude. Seriously. Yeah, we're not as good at as the Game Grumps at that, are we?
Not really.
Speaking of, did you actually see their more recent project they're taking on that made me laugh?
There's a lot of projects they take on.
The one that Ross has demanded they take on.
Oh, the World of Warcraft one?
Yes, Guild
Yeah.
Grumps.
I haven't actually watched any of it, but...
Oh, it's great. It is great. Just because, for those who aren't Game Grumps fans, so... What is it, Rubber Ross? Is that what he goes off by?
I just know his full name, Ross Donovan.
Yeah, but like his YouTube moniker, I think, is Rubber Ross. Yeah, I think that's it, because he wanted. Yeah, that's it. So he apparently is the only WoW player of them, and Game Grumps has actually like 5 people involved, and the other 4 have never touched it. So that would be Ego Raptor, that would be his wife, Mortimer. That would be, crap,
Danny Sexbane.
Danny Sexbang, but the guy who edits, Barry.
Barry. Although Barry's not the current editor anymore.
No,
That's
he's not.
actually wrong.
That's because he's off doing all this other stuff like Table Flip.
Mhm.
So the other 4 have never played World of Warcraft at all. Now, one of the things that makes this interesting is that they are playing from Warlords of Draenor, so they literally get a boost to level 90. So they are 10 levels away from cap. And they get to mess around with all the new stuff. And I've watched only a little bit of it, but it's great to see Ego Raptor flip out and seeing Mortimer just be stressed trying to play this game. I should be just considered evil for the fact I'm enjoying their pain, but I'm enjoying it so much so.
It's fine. I enjoyed their pain on Sonic Boom.
Yeah. And the other one that, so I don't know if you've actually picked this channel up, but I'm curious. Have you picked up Hot Pepper Gaming at all?
No.
Oh my gosh, that is so hard to watch. It's basically where they have to review a game, but before they do it, they have to eat a ghost pepper.
Okay.
So like Ego Raptor's done it twice, and all of which you just think they're gonna die. You really do. Even the completionist has taken it on.
You have to eat a pepper?
You have to eat a pepper, and you don't get any kind of... You have to do it with the burning in your mouth. You have to review the game. And it's basically an endurance challenge.
Oh,
So
jeez.
you have to go through, and as soon as you call for milk or whatever, you're done. That's how long you lasted.
See me, I'd be like calling for milk in 2 seconds. I wouldn't last.
Yeah, somebody actually... And wow, okay, I need to fix that.
Reload state.
Yes, reload state.
Reload
Again!
state again.
What are you doing?
I need to fix that. So I thought I had that fixed in post.
I'm
I
not
need
the
to
only
stop
I'm not the only stuff who forgets stuff in editing.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I mean, even Barry's done it in Game Grumps occasionally. He's admitted.
Like the whole Wendy's ad.
Yes. So, yeah, it's one of those things where actually people have asked, like, if we would do something like Hot Pepper Gaming.
No.
I've just told them no, because first of all, you have to deal with the pain afterwards and the scarring, and that's not fun. But on top of that, it's just, I'm not into stuff where it's just like, we're gonna make this difficult and challenging just because it is. Like, we're gonna put ourselves through an immense amount of pain just because.
Yeah.
That's dumb to me. But for some reason, I have no problem watching other people do it. Well, they agreed to it. I didn't. Or another thing was, people actually asked why we didn't take part in the ALS Ice Bucket Challenge last year. First of all, we were busy.
Because it's stupid. Anyway.
I don't think we would have had a problem doing it, but first of all, we didn't get challenged.
We could have
And-
done it anyway. So.
Yeah, we could have done it anyway.
But I think the theme is just kind of stupid, because, like...
But also, we were busy. We were busy as crap around that time, so...
I just never saw the point of that Ice Bucket Challenge.
I did, but, you know, it's one of those things where I would probably have trolled YouTube a little bit and just showed a camera recording of me handing some money over for charity and an empty bucket. Just saying that's what you need to do, guys, not the bucket.
I mean, I'm sure people did it anyway. Put out money along with dunking
No, that's
themselves.
part of the challenge, is that you actually had to donate.
Well, wasn't the challenge like you donate or you dunk the ice bucket?
No. Well, that originally was the idea, but then people would donate and do the bucket.
Right.
So, like, the best example I can think of, like, the Game Grumps did it. They all donated, and then they also dumped the buckets on their heads.
Yeah.
Because of the views. I mean, even Markiplier did that. No, Markiplier did something weird with that, where he decided to take a bath in ice-cold water and play a tablet game, and then accidentally dropped his iPad in there.
Oh, jeez.
I will admit, I felt bad for him. But not because he bought an Apple product. We're actually getting really close to the end of this level, and I'm already panicking a little bit because this is actually the second hardest boss in the game.
What was
Second
the first?
only. The first is Dracula. The second to last boss is the second hardest. And here we go. Obviously, we are now in kind of the upper areas of the castle with chandeliers. Or, I'm sorry, chandeliers. You say tomato. I say chandelier.
I say chandelier.
So do I. There's so much in common there, Alex. Oh, looks like that could be Dracula?
Oh, wow, there's text, actually.
You take it over, Alex.
You've made it here. I will soon bring him back to this world. There's no way you can beat me, Father.
Yes, so this is the possessed Soleiyu Belmont. And we can already tell that Soleiyu is way more powerful naturally than Christopher as a vampire hunter. Because he can call forth some empowered abilities, which only a few Belmonts have been able to do in history. So that's already a cool concept, but he is one of the hardest bosses because of this stupid pattern that he follows. And if you don't have the fireball whip, you aren't doing this fight. I learned that the hard way. I had the wrong sub-item and I didn't have a full whip. I was done before the battle had even started. Thankfully, I'm almost there. I'm almost there. Yay! We have beaten up our son.
Wow.
How sad is that?
But Dracula made us do it. He took over Dracula. Or Dracula took him over. But we saved him. We did it. We saved him.
We did it. Yay.
Oh, look, and here's more dialogue. It's Soleiyu talking, so...
Oh, what am I? Oh, Father. Now that I lost my powers, he's after my men's powers. What? Hurry, Father.
He's
I want to
after-
say this is just a hiccup in translation because there's no other men. It's just Soleiyu's powers. So, leave a comment below if I've got that wrong, but I don't think I do. So now it's time for us to face off with Dracula. This is supposed to be us going to the clock tower area. Thankfully, unlike Belmont or Castlevania The Adventure, there's only one phase to this. And it's hard as crap. So hard that if you don't know how to place yourself in this fight, you might as well start over. People might notice I have perfect execution. That's because I had to do this 40 times!
A lot of trial and error, it sounds like.
Yes.
That was
And it's
how-
basically trying to find a good place where those orbs are not going to hit you. And even then, you'll have accidents like that. Now, one of the other things I didn't know, and a lot of the LPs that I watched for this didn't know, is that the cross boomerang is really good with this guy. Like, I don't need to land a single whip strike on him. Yay!
I said if
Hey.
he died before he did.
So, you want to know the sad part? I had to do this twice.
Aw.
That's why it's 40 attempts. Because when I beat it, I left my mouse pointer on the screen.
Oops.
So I had to do it again. And I'm like all hope in my life had just sunk. It was gone. Like, no! Look, it's a Caesar-inducing screen
Just 'cause you left your
shaking.
mouse pointer on there.
Yep. Oh, look, and it's Soleiyu! And it's Christopher! And they're all happy. And the castle has fallen. Again. So I will take on the narration here, because it's going to be horribly long. And I'm going to wait, because it's a scrolling one. The battle is over. Is it really? The Count's evil plan has been thwarted. Or crushed. One of the two.
That's why you wait. Crushed by a father's
Love for his son.
Aw.
And a boy's love for his dog. That happens, right?
Sure.
Peace has been restored. Or as returned. That too. Peace has returned to this land for another 100 years. And here's the mistranslation. And Soleiyu... I might as well wait. What the crap?
Who was freed by...
The dark side of the Force.
The dark
Can we speed this up?
magician.
And Soleiyu, who was freed by the dark spells, will now inherit the name of Vampire Hunter. It's actually supposed to be Vampire Killer because of the whip, but I'm going to stop nitpicking.
Soleiyu, the vampire killer.
Then on, the blood in the Belmont clan. See, this is how you know I did this twice, because now I can memorize it. The blood in the Belmonts has become legends as vampire hunters. Great scroll here, Konami.
Oh my god, is it still going?
It's still going. Making people pass.
At least you can read it.
I don't care about reading it. It's a Game Boy game.
Yeah, but sometimes even when you're trying to read it,
Making people pass on the story to their children.
it takes forever. You know, like, or it just seems like sometimes it even passes.
I will
when you
admit,
go-
I don't like it when games do this. The slow scroll. Just make it a little faster.
Well, maybe for some people.
Eh. Alright, so I think that's actually it for Belmont's Revenge. Final thoughts.
Woo.
Alex, what do you think of Belmont's Revenge for Game Boy Color?
That's okay.
Would you actually have the same recommendation that I would, that like more lovers of gameplay would appreciate these games a bit more?
Lovers of the Castlevania series, yeah.
Yeah, so that's something to keep in mind. Andrea, your final thoughts on Castlevania Belmont's Revenge.
It was pretty good.
That's all we got?
What?
That's pretty
It
good.
was for a
We're
Game
not
Boy.
you know, we're just not Castlevania fans, so we can't really gush a lot and go, this is the best game I've seen in my entire life.
And because you did that, I'm willing to get off your case. This is the best game I've seen in my entire life. So my final thoughts on this. This is actually the first time I've played Belmont's Revenge. I played Adventure back in the day, but this was the first time I'd actually handled the sequel. I will admit it's better. I will admit that it was Konami's probably finest on this generation. Not the finest they've ever had on handhelds, but I'll give them that. It was good. So, but that's going to go ahead and do it. There is a third... People are going to scream that there was a third Game Boy game. Yes, there was. It's technically been written out of continuity, so I don't see a real reason to go into it. Which is really sad, because it's actually the first ever female Belmont that ever came in, which is Sonia Belmont, but she's been written out of continuity. So, we will not be taking on Castlevania Legends.
He just doesn't want to do anything that's not in continuity with the story.
Yes, because then it doesn't make sense.
So what?
And that would mean I'd have to do Castlevania 64, and I refuse.
It's a Castlevania game, none of the less.
That, and I couldn't really find a ROM of it, so...
Thank you for playing.
Well, that makes much more logical sense for a reason not to
Presented by Konami.
Seriously, she nitpicks everything I'm doing. Anyway, so yeah, that's going to go ahead and do it for the month of June. We hope you guys have enjoyed this look through the Castlevania Game Boy titles. But next month, we have something special in store. And that is that we're going to take Alex back to a time when LucasArts properties didn't piss us off. And we're going to take on yet another adventure game, the LucasArts classic, The Secret of Monkey Island.
Monkey Man!
Hopefully, we can get Alex's mind off of the fiasco that is going to come with Battlefront.